So today is episode 61 of HSP TV, and I'm going to talk about why fake it till you make it is actually the worst advice ever. Maybe you are not there where you want to be yet, and maybe you're not getting the results that you desire. Maybe you've been confronted with situations of feeling out of place or being unqualified. Maybe you feel socially awkward. Or maybe you are a shy person and you hate going to networking events, but making connections is vital to your career. And is this causing you to have feelings of uncertainty and self-doubt? Maybe you have a fear of being stereotyped, and so you tried to act the part of the person typical of the role that you were aspiring. You tried to actually fake it till you made it. You postured and you pretended, and no matter what amount of faking it that you put out, you found yourself with more self-doubt than when you started. If any of this resonates with you, then I want you to know that you're not alone and that I get it. Why, you might ask? Well, because I've been there. I've gotten the advice to fake it until I made it. And it made me feel horrible, like an imposter who could be found out at any moment. So I've experienced every single one of these feelings of frustration, of stress, and of unhappiness. See, we all have someone that we want to be. Everybody has a vision for themselves where they're supremely confident, get to do what they want, and have total control over their life. We crave being that person, but the process of actually becoming that person can seem so distant, impossible even. So what do most of us do? We stay in our rut. We stick to our patterns, constantly fantasizing about the person we want to be. We continually live the life as the underwhelming version that we are. Almost everyone feels this on a consistent basis, even if only subtly. I bet you feel it, don't you? It's either a dull pain or it just gnaws at you. So what do you do about it? You dip your toe into the personal development and you discover that fake it till you make it is a concept. Don't feel confident? Just pretend like you are. Don't have the skills? Just fake them until you do have them. The fake it till you make it mantra does have a seed of truth, however. Because to become the version of yourself that you currently are not, you'll have to stretch outside of your comfort zone. Be a little bit bolder and do things that you're not accustomed to. But there's a huge difference between that and faking it until you make it. One is genuine, and the other definitely does work until it doesn't. So now I am genuine, I am authentic, and I've become a version of myself that I am just proud of, who's confident in her own skin and who no longer fakes it until I make it. And it's just such a relief. I cannot tell you what a relief it is to just be able to be myself and have that be good enough. In fact, I now have people seeking me out to teach them to do the same, to give them guidance, to teach them the skills they need so that they can be confident in their own skin too. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Barbara, and I'm a transformation and empowerment coach for what I like to call intuitive ambitious aliens. Those to me are highly sensitives, intuitives, and empaths who have always felt weird or strange, or like they didn't fit into this world, but who want to be deeply connected to their spiritual self and have this crystal clear vision of the life that they truly want to live. I help them to unleash the power within to get more clarity on what's really important in their lives, and to reignite their passion and purpose so that they can achieve their dreams. So today, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to walk you through why faking it doesn't work, what to do when you feel like an imposter, why people tell you to fake it till you make it, and how you can overcome your imposter syndrome. So let's get started. Okay, Barbara, I hear you thinking, but just now you said fake it until you make it works, until it doesn't. So what do you mean by that? Because it's a bit confusing. Well, that's an excellent question. And here's why. You can't fake it forever. And to understand this, we must first look at confidence and the role it plays in our lives. So, what is confidence? Confidence is the sense that you can handle the situation in front of you, regardless of the domain, because you've practiced it and have enough experience to face similar situations with a feeling you'll be successful. And this type of earned confidence just cannot be faked. And whether it's face-to-face interaction or you're reading words on a keyboard, you can always sense real confidence and authority, especially us intuitives. We have this keen sense for someone who just has their shit together. It just kind of radiates from them. It's so self-evident. And false confidence can maybe pull the wool over other people's eyes for a while, but seldom over all ours. And eventually, everyone will realize that you're not who you say you are. You might think, great. Well, imagine this. You've worked on yourself and you've developed true confidence, but still you have a problem. You feel like a fraud. You feel like an imposter. And whenever you're trying to forge a new path, skill, personality trait, or whatever, you'll feel fake by default because you're trying to attempt it. Okay, Barbara, you might be thinking, I understand what you're saying. I might not like it, but I understand it. But what should I do about it? What can I do to navigate the murky path of being inexperienced, yet staying true to myself while I grow? Well, I'll tell you. You have to let fear first break you down so that you can build yourself back up. What do I mean by that? Well, see, the good thing about staying stuck in a rut, living below your full potential, and telling yourself a story about your life that really isn't true is simple. Even if your current life is shit, you can hide there. On this path, you don't necessarily live life to the fullest, but you'll never have to understand the genuine pain, embarrassment, and rejection that comes with facing your real fears to reach your real goals. If we're all being honest with ourselves, we usually want a lifestyle that's well above what we have right now. And it doesn't have to be about money or status. It could be our health, social skills, relationships, careers, sense of meaning. The stuff every personal development writer writes about, but very few people ever achieve. The problem you have to face is that you're currently ill-equipped to make that lifestyle happen. You don't have the skills, the experience, nor the earned confidence. Life is full of problems. But one of the most difficult problems to solve is having to start at zero. But that really is the only way. But Barbara, I hear you exclaim, starting at zero. Are you absolutely sure that that is the only way? Well, I hear you. And starting at zero seems like the worst of all possible situations, right? You want to become a writer, but you've never penned a word and have 0 fans. You're 100 pounds overweight. You just moved to a new city and you know no one. You're 40 years old, going back to night school to start your career all over again. They might be different situations, but they have the same initial feeling. How the hell am I going to do this? And this feeling is often why people never write that book, lose that weight, drop everything and move to a new city, or go back to school. Because comfort and certainty almost always feels better than 0, regardless of how bad the familiar situation is. And there are actually 2 antidotes to this feeling. And the first is just a shit ton of work. But that's the hard part to get to if you don't get the initial jolt. So where do you find it? And the second antidote can be summed up like this. You are nobody, a ghost, 0, nothing. Which means you have the opportunity to be whatever the hell you want to be. See, once you gain status, experiences, credentials, you have something to lose. An identity, a sunk cost of time, a reputation you meticulously crafted. And nobody has none of these hindrances. If you're a nobody, you can screw up 1,000,000 times until you get it right. And your mistakes will largely go unnoticed because no one is paying attention to you. The finished product has all the pressure. And you're free to build whatever this thing is, exactly how you please, until you arrive with it constructed to your exact expectations. See, everybody goes from inexperienced to experienced in life, but often they're guided by whatever preconceived notions led them on that path. And they've never been free. But when you start at 0, you're scared to death, but you're absolutely free. And only the free are unique, creative, and successful in a way that's indescribably unique. Why do you think we worship actors, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, writers, and such? Because almost all of them had nothing to begin with. They then constructed life as they see fit. And once they did that, you noticed them. Okay, Barbara, you're probably thinking, so why do people tell you you have to fake it until you make it? And that is a very good question. So let's walk through the process of actually becoming one of these people. And it starts with, why do people tell you to fake it until you make it? They tell you that in the sense that you don't want to come off as an absolute insecure wallflower. If you lack confidence with your social skills, acting kind of weird because of it won't help. So yes, if you're trying to interact with people, you'll have to act as if, but only slightly. Enough to have the courage to actually interact with people. Don't try to go from massively introverted to being Michael Jackson or Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins. That's just not reality, you know? So let's say you want to be a coach. Just coach. Even though you might not have a ton of experience, you can still coach with a tad bit of authentic authority by using the following method, which actually works well for anyone with the role of expert, even though I hate that word. It starts with learn. So you read, you watch, and you study something that you're interested in. And then test. You try it out for yourself. Whatever you've read, whatever you've come up with that solves something, you start trying it out. You start trying it out to see what the results will be. And if you're happy with the results, then comes step 3. Teach. You share your results and you teach what you've learned to other people. See, this way, you're not totally in fake it till you make it mode. You're staying just a single step ahead of your clients. And mind you, this is in stark contrast to what I've seen some people do. For instance, make a little bit of money and then create a $2,000 group coaching course. You want to stretch yourself, but not so much that you actually are being a fraud. So creating a fake persona will make you feel even worse deep down because some people will actually believe you, and that will make you feel horrible. If you fool people into thinking that you're confident and authoritative and you're genuinely being an imposter when you are just feeling insecure and shy, you don't need to do that. The only thing that you need to do is to just stay a step ahead. And when it comes to the field testing, you're working to build your confidence over time. And the more you test, the more you realize that each individual outcome doesn't matter that much. This is called outcome independence. See, when you never attempt to do the thing, it feels like life or death. But as you do the thing over and over, you develop kind of a win some, lose some attitude. For example, I've written so many blogs and done so many of these HSP TVs or podcasts that I now don't even try to predict which ones will take off, which ones will be hugely successful. I don't care. I'm doing this for just the sake of teaching you something or sharing something with you because it makes me feel good and I hope it's valuable to you. And that's the source of confidence itself, indifference to the results. And unfortunately, you'll never get there without testing. You can read, you can analyze, and you can theorize all you want, but nothing replaces experience. Nothing. So on the path to gaining said experience, keep this in mind. Nobody gives a flying, you know what, about you, about your path, about your business, career, your life, your social group, your dreams. No one cares about any of them. So why are we all so damn narcissistic? Well, the person who is a wallflower or scared to create art or reluctant to start their business is actually super self-centered to believe that anyone's paying attention to them. Go to a crowded building or an event and just look around. Nobody will even glance at you. You're a drop in the bucket, so to say, which can help you make it because you realize there's nothing to make, really. Even if you get super successful, all at best, you'll get praise from a bunch of people that you don't really know. Well, that's cool, It might feel good. But over time, you'll come to realize that validation always comes from within. You need to validate your work. You need to appreciate your work. It needs to come from within always. Even if you take praise as validation, you're still the one that assigns meaning to that praise, not them. And for me, over time, I'm just learning to get more comfortable with myself. I'm just talking my talk and doing my thing. And I'm here to do what I love to do without hurting other people in the process. And the idea of fake it till you make it comes with the underlying assumption that some entity gets to decide who's real and who's fake, who makes it and who doesn't. And I don't believe that. It's all subject to interpretation, which has about 7 billion different versions based on our population. Just do your thing. Just let your freak flag fly. Walk your magical life path that no one cares about with pride, I'm doing that. And it's just amazing. And, a lot of what I've shared with you today, and especially the process that I described, can already make a huge change in your life, because honestly, it did for me. But if you want long lasting results and you are serious about living a rewarding life that's founded in authenticity, that gets you the results that you desire while feeling confident and good about yourself, then I would strongly advise you to find a coach or a mentor like me, for instance, to help you. If you're not trusting your natural born talents and gifts yet, or if you don't even know what your talents are or how to go about using them to your advantage, or even if you've ever felt like an imposter, then you and me, we need to talk. Just think how confident and happy you will feel when I help you to get clear on who you are, what your talents are, and how you can use them in a way that doesn't make you feel like a fraud. Can you imagine the sheer sense of relief and feelings of joy when I help you to find your way of doing what you love doing in a way that just feels good and comes natural to you? Just think for a moment how life can and will change for you when you know without a shadow of a doubt who you are and what your worth is. So you'll never have to fake it until you make it another day again in your life. If this resonates with you, and if you're serious about changing your life for the better and getting the results that you truly desire, then hop on a free discovery call with me. In this no strings attached call, we are going to get really clear on where you are now, what you want to do, and what steps to take that will get you the life that you truly want to live while feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin. Click on the link below or above this video, or send me a message in Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, and we'll get you set. I'll never forget the stressed and very unhappy life I led when I was not being myself, when I was faking my results, when I was pretending to be someone I was not, when I was constantly worried about being found out, constantly measuring myself and my worth to other people, often finding myself lacking, which then made me worry about being found out as a fraud even more. And it wasn't until I discovered this method that I shared with you today of learning and then testing and then teaching and just being one step ahead, all the while being my true authentic self, that things just started to really change for me. Now I know who I am, who I can help and how. I know my worth. I know what a huge difference I can and do make in other people's life. And I know that my validation comes from within. I feel confident in my abilities and just comfortable just being me, knowing and trusting on a deep level that that is enough. And that is what I want for you too. So click the link below, make that appointment with me, and take that first step onto the road of living a life that you truly love living by starting to trust in your intuition and choosing yourself. All change starts with you, and I would really love to get to know you. So we're nearing the end of this workshop. I hope that it was valuable to you. I hope that it gave you some real good insights. I know that it gave me insights the first time that I heard it. So I'm hoping that I got to pass it through. And if you have any questions or any remarks, then I am now checking to see if I can see them. So it could either be here on Facebook or it could be live in Zoom. So let me know if you have any questions, and it could also be in the replay. You can also watch this in the replay and still just ask me your questions. And I am checking Facebook to see if I have questions, and I don't see them here. And I also don't see them here. Wonderful, then I hope it was just very clear, or that most of you are going to watch it later. And also here on Zoom, I am not seeing anything. So then I want to thank you. Reshma says something to me. Staying stuck in a rut feels horrible and very frustrating. I am definitely starting at zero. Yes, indeed. If you haven't watched my talks with Reshma before or haven't seen one of these episodes before, then you might not know. But Reshma has a very interesting story especially for those women who feel stuck in a marriage that is not giving them any pleasure or joy and that feel like they cannot leave it, then definitely contact Reshma. But there are many, many more reasons to contact Reshma. But I'm not going to go into them. But yes, I really understand where you're coming from, and you are starting at zero, and you're just doing it amazingly. And I'm incredibly proud of your progress and everything that you're doing. So just keep doing what you're doing, Reshma. You're amazing. Okay, I'm going to see one last time if there are other questions. There's a bit of a lag between Zoom and Facebook, but no, they are not. So then I thank everyone that was here live, in this case, Reshma, 200%, and all the other people that are either watching this later or in the replay, for being here, for watching. And I hope to see you all again for next week's episode, which will be about the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, and why it is important for you to know about this law and how you can make it work for you. So extremely interesting stuff, and I hope to see you all again next week. Bye for now.